What do you want? Yes? Something I can help with? I know that look. You have something on your mind, don't you? Yes? Something you need? Looking for little old me? I'm here for you. Well, aren't you sweet and attentive? People have always spoken of dark and mysterious woods haunted by beings unseen. The Brazilian forest is one such forest. Redcliffe? I know little of it except that it is the domain of the Earl of Redcliffe. Redcliffe. I wonder how the name came to be. Lothering? I think it started as a settlement by the river, and then grew when it became the place where two roads met. Denham is Ferelden's most important city, yes? This is the seat of power, the jewel in the crown of the king. Vast halls, carved from the stone of the mountain, lined with the chiseled marble figures of paragons, so fine as to mirror life itself. Next to nothing, I'm afraid. Perhaps there is little to know about this place, or I simply have not discovered its secrets yet. They say the veil is thin here, and spirits from the fade pass over, drifting through the trees and giving them an unnatural and sinister intelligence. It is said that if you feel you are being watched in the Brazilian forest, you are. Is the clay here red? There are places in this world where the clay is a bright, strange red, and often, in the legends of such places, it is the red of blood, the blood of 1,000 men slaughtered in battle, or that of an innocent unjustly slain. It stains the land that it may never be forgotten. Perhaps Redcliffe has one such tale. But I do not know it. There are always people in Lothering, but many are just passing through. She is Ferelden's heart. Her walls are strong, but within them lies so much beauty, just like the country and the people. Soaring ceilings grand enough to make any man forget the sky and the sun, and to question the reason for their existence. I have heard of these things and more, but none prepared me for what I have seen here. It is marvelous. All right, it is my job to spin yarns after all. Of course I do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think. I know what the chantry says about the Maker, and what should I believe? What I feel in my heart, or what others tell me? He's still here. I hear him in the wind and the waves. I feel him in the sunlight that warms my skin. No, not voices. It's not so simple. He spoke directly to my soul, in a language no human tongue can express. They said my ideas were blasphemy. But is it so bad if what I believe gives me comfort? If it could give someone else comfort? I know what I know, and no one will ever make that untrue. Thank you. It's nice to find someone who agrees. Maybe I shall not share them with you then. Chantry law says it is man's pride that created the Darkspawn. In ages past, the mages of the Tevinder Imperium ruled much of the world we know. In their pride, they thought their magics invincible and imagined that they were greater than the Maker himself. So thinking, they invaded his golden city, planning to take it for themselves and depose their own creator. But they were impure and full of sin, and it is with the sin that they tainted the golden city, corrupting it forever. The Maker cursed them and cast them from his sight. Wherever they went, they spread the taint of their sin. Any land that was touched by the taint became blighted and would suffer no life. Instead, the Darkspawn arose to torment us and remind us of our hubris. Of course, Orlesians enjoy telling stories. I shall tell you my favorite tale of Aveline, the Knight of Orlais. A long time ago, a girl child was born to a farmer. He had hoped for a son, not a daughter, and so he told his wife to abandon the child in the woods. Before the cold could claim her, the baby was found by a tribe of Dalish elves who took pity on the poor mewling thing and raised her as their own. Aveline, for that is what they called her, grew strong and quick and clever under the guidance of the elves. She learned to wield the sword as well as any man, could kill a deer with an arrow at 100 paces, and was as graceful on the back of a horse as she was on foot. All right, I will tell you the tale another time if you wish it. Aveline's Dalish guardians saw that she could easily best any Orlesian chevalier in battle, and wanted to show the cruel humans the child they had left to die. They bestowed upon her a fine horse and armor, and sent her to prove herself to her people in the grand tourney. Now in those days, no woman was allowed to take up arms, let alone compete in the grand tourney, but Aveline kept her helmet on, and was not discovered. Aveline won many events, and gained the approval of the adoring crowd. Eventually, she came face to face with the knight Keleva in the grand melee. Aveline had already bested him in the joust, and Keleva was determined not to lose a second time. Many legends have familiar forms and themes. We enjoy them so because we know them. Out of desperation to regain his honor, Keleva tripped Aveline and tossed her to the ground, ripping off her helmet as he did so. Silence fell upon the arena as Aveline was revealed. Keleva declared the previous competitions invalid. A woman had taken part, and this was not allowed. But the crowd cheered for Aveline. Keleva was furious, for he had lost to a woman and was now being shamed. Blinded by his rage, he forced Aveline to her knees. "Know your place, woman," cried he, and slit her throat. The son of the king, Prince Freyan, was present. He recognized Aveline's skill and bravery and began to see the injustice done to the women in his land. When he was made king, he rewrote the laws of Orlais so that women could also become chevalier. He honored Aveline and knighted her after her death, and to this day, any female who is knighted reveres Aveline the Brave, for she is the patron of all women chevalier. I know one, told to me by my mother a long time ago. It always chilled me to the bone. Maybe you have heard of Flemeth? Are you sure? Was she the Flemeth of legend? Flemeth, the devourer of men? Flemeth, mother of witches? Flemeth, demon-touched, who dwells in the mists. Ferelden mothers scare their daughters with talk of Flemeth. They say that if you're bad, Flemeth will spirit you away and bind you to her forever. Well, if Flemeth really exists, she would be very, very old indeed. I suppose that's possible. But why would one adopt the name of a feared abomination? They also say that Flemeth mourns her lost beauty and will steal yours through your looking glass if she catches you. Fair enough. I can tell the tale some other time. Flemeth's beauty was known throughout the land. She had hair like unto a moonless night, skin as pale as winter's first snow, and eyes as beautiful and perilous as the sea. When she came of age, she came to the attention of the Lord of Highever, Conobar, and he took her for his wife. Conobar soon learned that his young bride had the gift of magic. He kept this a secret, for he feared that she would be taken from him. Flemeth stayed with Conobar for some years, and with his blessing she practiced her art. And then one day a young poet named Osen came to the castle. Flemeth was captivated by Osen's voice, and he by her beauty, and they fell in love. Flemeth longed to be with her true love, and she and Osen fled from Conobar's lands, seeking refuge in the Kokari wilds with the Chasing tribes. They lived there happily for many a year, till the day Flemeth received news that Conobar was dying and longed to see her face one last time. Flemeth's heart swelled with pity for the man who once was her husband, and begged Osen to return to Conobar's side with her. But when Flemeth and Osen entered Highever, they were captured by Conobar's men, and Osen was slain in front of Flemeth's eyes. Flemeth was imprisoned in the highest tower of the castle, there to await Conobar's judgment on her. Distraught at the loss of her love, Flemeth plotted revenge against her husband. She summoned a fey demon, intending for it to wreak vengeance on Conobar. But a spell went awry. The demon possessed Flemeth. Turning her into an abomination, the halls of the castle ran red with blood as Flemeth slaughtered Conobar and all his men. The last of Flemeth's humanity melted away, and at dawn she stole back to the wilds to plot and scheme for 100 years. They say she took to her side many Chasing men, and with their help begat her daughter witches, who even now prowl the dark places of the Kokari wilds. Andraste was the Maker's chosen. The Maker had long since abandoned the world when the sound of her singing turned his ear. Beauty, grace, and wisdom enraptured him, and he offered to take her from this flawed world to become his divine bride. But Andraste had an earthly husband and would not forsake him. Instead, she beseeched the Maker to return to his people once more. So earnest was her plea that the Maker was moved, and promised that he would create a paradise on earth if all abandoned their false gods and turned once more to him. And this is why Andraste began her exalted march on the idolaters of the Tevinter Imperium. The Maker granted her his powers with which to smite her enemies. Andraste brought the Imperium to its knees, and her victories converted many to the worship of the Maker. Alas, it was the frailties of men that betrayed and killed Andraste. Her earthly husband, Maferath, a chieftain of the Alamari tribes himself, grew jealous as his wife's popularity and influence overshadowed his own. She was also revered as the Maker's betrothed, and Maferath began to see their own bond waning in significance as Andraste became ever more devoted to the Maker. Out of envy and spite, Maferath made a pact with the Archon Hessarian of Tevinter, allowing his beloved Andraste to be ambushed and captured. Andraste was burnt at the stake in Minrathous, the capital of Tevinter. The Tevinter chantry claims that in Andraste's last moments, Hessarian's heart softened, and he heard the voice of the Maker telling him to end her suffering. He plunged his sword into her heart, and as her blood washed over his hands, he became one of the faithful. Dissenters said that the Archon only converted because he could not stem the tide of Andraste's cult, and was forced to do so to stay in power. We will never know for sure. I have thought on this too. Did he withdraw his sight from her at that moment? Where were all the powers he bestowed upon her? This question has come to me many times, and I have no answer. Perhaps there was no way for Andraste to return to the Maker but through her death. We can discuss this another time if you wish. I know little about your people, but I may be misinformed, and I would hate to offend you. I have heard a little about how the elves gained their freedom from the Tevinter Imperium. When Andraste began her exalted march against the Imperium, the elves joined her cause to fight their masters. The great elven leader, Shatan, born in captivity, rose up to lead his people. He foresaw a future where the elves were free. Shatan was killed when Andraste was betrayed, but the elves continued to fight, eventually breaking free of the Imperium. The elves claimed the Dales in the south and settled there in the land of their own. The elves lived in the Dales for centuries. They resurrected the worship of the elven gods and would allow the building of no chantry. This angered the chantry, and the hostility between the two factions finally broke out in open war. The chantry says the elves struck first, but I do not know whether to believe it. The chantry declared a wholly exalted march against the elves, named for Andraste's similar march against Tevinter. During the exalted march of the Dales, the elven cities were sacked, and the elven state completely dissolved. Some of the elves bitterly accepted their fates and surrendered to human rule, living in the human cities as second-class citizens, if you wish, but others, still fiercely proud of their heritage, refused to bow to the humans, and instead became homeless wanderers. There were the elves of the Dales, the Dalish. What is meant by someone like me? Did you think I was always a cloistered sister? The chantry provides succor and safe harbor to all who seek it. I chose to stay and become affirmed. I was a traveling minstrel in Orlais. Tales and songs were my life. I performed, and they rewarded me with applause and coin. And my skill in battle? Well, you pick up different skills when you travel, yes? Yes, of course. The chantry does not pride, and you should. I desired time apart from the world. Ha! I can see why you say that. I have met my share of these, and they are quite unpleasant to deal with. Quiet. It was a life suited for contemplation. In the cloister, away from the fuss and the flurry of the cities, I found peace, and in that stillness I could hear the Maker. But it was not perfect. Some of my chantry fellows were condescending. That is the nature of religious folk, I suppose. When I talked about my beliefs, that the Maker reveals himself in the beauty of his world, they treated me with disdain. They want to believe that he's gone, so that when he turns his gaze on them, it means they are special, chosen. He cannot possibly have love for all, the sick and the weary, the beggars and the fools. What can I say to them? What they believe is what the chantry says, and the chantry is infallible, yes? Maybe I am wrong. But it is the Maker's place to decide if I am worthy, not men, not the chantry. Yes, I know this is what the chantry teaches. It is not easy for me either to reconcile how I feel with what I am told. Where did you hear this? Not all minstrels are spies. Most are just singers and storytellers, but some of them are what we call bards. Many use the two words minstrel and bard interchangeably, but to do so in Orlais would cause misunderstanding. Bards are minstrels and more. Spies, as you say. Some say there is a bard order, but I don't think this is true. Many bards work alone or in small groups, doing the bidding of a patron who pays for their services. If there is an organization behind it all, no one knows who they are. I have revealed too much, it seems. But it doesn't matter what I used to be. It is the past. My skills served me well. But the day finally came when I decided to just put them aside. The excitement of the life wears off very quickly, I'm afraid. I found myself in Ferelden and sheltered from bad weather in the Chantry, and when the storm passed, I just did not want to leave. I like to say the Maker brought me here. My mother was from Denerim, and I consider myself a Ferelden. Mother served an Orlesian noblewoman who lived here when Orlais ruled. When Orlais was defeated and the common folk began to resent the presence of any Orlesian, the lady returned to Orlais. She took my mother with her. I was born in Orlais and did not set foot in Ferelden till much later. Mother was always telling me stories of her homeland. I think she missed it. Mother died when I was very young. Lady Cecily let me stay with her. I had no one else. She was quite old then, and she had me study music and dance to entertain her. It is unfair that I have more memories of Cecily than my mother. She had served Cecily, the Lady Cecily, for many years, and was loyal to her. Cecily was a good person. She was always kind to me. She wasn't unhappy. We had a good life, and she liked Orlais well enough. I loved it, though. Valroyaux was so vibrant, colorful. She was an elderly lady, very refined and proper. She had impeccable manners and taste, more so than a lot of Orlesian ladies. Cecily was also kind. My mother was unmarried and with child. It was scandalous, and Cecily had every right to turn my mother out. She didn't. Strangely, the only thing I really remember of Mother was her scent. She kept dried flowers in her closet amongst her clothes, small white Ferelden wildflowers with a sweet fragrance. Mother called them Andraste's Grace. They were very rare in Orlais. She was my mother. I just wish I had a little something to remember her by. Maybe you just don't understand. Forget I said anything. This is my trouble, not yours. I lied to you, you know. About why I left Orlais. Is my usefulness all that matters to you? I hope that my company, at least, would be cause for some cheer. I must have been wrong. I didn't feel like talking about it then. What happened to me? Maybe it will affect us. Maybe not. But you should know. In a way I did, but these feelings were triggered by events which I did not tell you about. I came to Ferelden and the Chantry because I was being hunted in Orlais. I was framed, betrayed by someone I thought I knew and could trust. Marjolaine, she was my mentor and friend. She taught me the bardic arts, how to enchant with words and song, to carry myself like a highborn lady, to blend in as a servant. In Orlais, there is much rivalry amongst the highborn. They fight over land, influence, and the favor of the Empress. But they could not do this openly because it is impolite, and in public, they wear smiling faces and pretend to be civil. In secret, they plot and scheme to destroy each other. It is a game completely meaningless to anyone but its players. She claimed to have retired. She married a noble and inherited his wealth when he died. To many, she was just a rich widow. The skills I learned, I used to serve her, my bard master, because I loved her, and because I enjoyed what I did. You can say it was my fault. There was a man I was sent to kill. I was to bring Marjolaine everything he carried. I don't know who this man was. She gave me a name and a description, and I hunted him down. I found documents on his body, sealed documents. My curiosity got the better of me. Something told me that I needed to know what was in those letters. Marjolaine had been selling all kinds of information about Orlais to other countries, Nevara and Antiva among others. It was treason. It turns out that they were. My life as a bard taught me that my loyalties should be kept fluid. My concern was not that she was a traitor, but that her life would be in danger if she was caught. But I had always assumed Marjolaine only operated within Orlais. This was an unhappy surprise for me. I considered it to be bad. Orlais has been at war with so many countries. It takes a harsh view on such things, as I later discovered. I should have left well alone, but I didn't. I had to tell Marjolaine I feared for her life. She brushed aside my concern. She admitted her guilt, but said it was in the past. That is why the documents had to be destroyed, she said. To Marjolaine. No one else. I resealed them and gave them to her as she had instructed. I believed her. I kept believing up till the moment they showed me the documents, altered by her hand to make me look the traitor. The Orlesian guards, they captured me, did terrible things to make me confess and reveal my conspirators. It was a traitor's punishment I endured, and at the end of it, all that awaited me was eternity in an unmarked grave. The skills Marjolaine taught me were good for something, at least. I broke free when I saw the opportunity. I did not seek Marjolaine out. If she thought I was coming for her, she would have me caught again. It was cowardly to try to save myself? To drag my broken body across the wilds to Ferelden, where the Orlesians cannot touch me? And you would have thrown yourself at a wall of armored chevalier, out for your blood? That is a brave thing? I was tempted to confront her. I was furious, betrayed. But what could I do against her? And so I fled to Ferelden, to the Chantry and the Maker. Ferelden protected my person, and the Maker saved my soul. And that is the reason I am here. The real reason. No more lies between us, at least in this. Think of it what you will. It is done, and I cannot change it. But that is the truth of why I am in Ferelden. It feels good to have this off my chest. Thank you for listening and understanding. I do not think so. I have not seen a shadow of an Orlesian since I came to Ferelden. I thought you would be interested. We travel together and maybe this will affect us. Maybe you're right, and it doesn't matter. I see. I apologize for mentioning it then. We'll not speak of this again. It's Marjolaine. It has to be. Maybe someone saw me. Maybe she's finally found me and wants to finish what she started. I thought the same. The Orlesians would not hire mercenaries. They would come after me themselves. No. If anyone, it is Marjolaine. She needs to answer for what she's done to me. If we are ever in Denerim, I would like to seek her out. Perhaps it's time to settle this score for good. I suppose I can go on my own once we go our separate ways. I think I have been running for too long. Flowers? Thank you. They're very pretty. These were her favorite. I haven't seen these in such a long time. They smell just like Mother used to. Thank you. Thank you so much for remembering. There are many rumors about spies, Orlesian or otherwise. What are you referring to exactly? So you don't trust me then? You think I'm going to turn on you? Is this what you're trying to say? I admit I have done many despicable things in my lifetime. I do what I have to do. So do you. So does everybody. Sometimes we must do terrible things to get what we want. If it is any consolation, I always try to use non-violent means to achieve my ends. Some bards rely on torture to get what they want. It works effectively, as many will bend under the threat of bodily harm. But there are better ways, more subtle and kind. You will be surprised how easily a person will open up to you, even if all you offer is a listening ear. People respond eagerly to others who they believe understand them. They seek approval, friendship, sometimes love. This can be exploited. You don't think it is? I took what I wanted from them, leaving them none the wiser and unharmed. It is a game, one that can be won with little bloodshed if one plays well. You must always use the resources available to you, no? Not to do so is a waste. I do not believe what I did was particularly villainous. That is what they all say. I suppose we will never know, will we? I'm certainly not going to test you. That would be something to see. He thinks he'll charm me. I didn't say that. I did say it would be something to see, didn't I? Silly boy. That was so clunky. Awkward. Try again. You're an interesting person. Sometimes I don't know what to make of you, but I like it. Maybe. You're a tricky one. Oh, no. Don't say that. I'm sure you'll be just fine. If it will make you feel better, I can fake being charmed. Oh, very clever. I see what you did there. You don't have to worry about that. Since we are relying on each other, we should not have a relationship based on insincerity, yes? That would be foolish. Of course, I was just speaking hypothetically. Alas, I cannot partake in this fun. The Chantry frowns on fun. Of all kinds, especially the best kinds. And there is. I trust you. And I hope the feeling is mutual. All right, When I feel the urge to charm you, I promise it shall be with an open and honest heart. And rust his ashes, how she lies! I've seen the looks you give to Alistair, the downcast eyes, the coy smiles. Oh no, don't try to protest. I know how a woman tries to snare a man. Maybe it is subconscious, but you do it. Thank you. I suppose that is a compliment, though I do not want to be a person others think of as dangerous. I don't like hurting others, and even back in Orlais, I would try to use non-violent means to achieve my ends. It is a game everyone plays, even if they do it unconsciously. Women are just better at it. I miss Val-Royeaux. Unlike other cities where the people are the lifeblood and the character, Val-Royeaux was her own person, and her people little more than decorations. There was always music in Val-Royeaux, streaming from the many windows, quiet refrains and triumphant choruses, and always, floating above that all, the chant, coming from the Grand Cathedral. It was magnificent. If you get the chance, you should see it, at least Val-Royeaux. Of course there are good things and bad things about Orlais, like anywhere else. Sometimes I miss it dearly, and sometimes I'm glad I'm rid of it. And you will laugh at this, but I miss the fine things I had in Orlais. Oh, it would take me a day or two to talk about the many splendors of Orlais, her golden fields, her lush meadows. Yes, I'm sure it is, but every city has a different personality. It is hard to describe. You have to be there. Dresses, fine dresses and furs, and shoes, of course. One can't mingle with nobility with bad shoes, you see. Orlais is very fashionable, almost ridiculously so. But the shoes! Living with those ridiculous trends was worth it for the shoes. I left behind much, leaving Orlais, but there is more to life than dresses and furs. It is sad that many have lost sight of this. When I left Orlais, the fashion was shoes with delicate tapered heels and embellishments in the front, a ribbon perhaps, or embroidery. In soft colors, of course. It was spring. I had my eye on a pair my shoemaker was working on. It was covered in pale blue silk, with amber beads on the toe. Sometimes, about 10 years ago, all the ladies went mad for shoes with soles as large and heavy as bricks. But it isn't always that silly. Never mind. I just have a weakness for pretty shoes. It is so frivolous of me, I know. The shoes made in Orlais were exquisite. Not at all like these clunky fur-lined leather boots you have in Ferelden. Ugh, just look at them. I wouldn't want to run in it, or have to enter battle, but for lounging in a lady's sitting room? Perfect. Yes, well, a fair amount. It is so frivolous and wasteful, I know, but I have such a weakness for lovely shoes. They're sturdy shoes, but sometimes a girl just wants to have pretty feet. Well, they're shoes. They're pretty. Some of them anyway, perhaps. Ferelden folk are so much more practical. I don't see them making use of something simply for its looks. You've seen and touched Andraste's ashes. They are the holiest thing on this earth, the remains of the Maker's chosen. I do not know if I am worthy to look upon her. Maybe it is belief and faith that imbues them with their power, or just maybe Andraste really was blessed by him. I know. It seems almost irreverent to use her as a curative, and it is also a tiny bit morbid. Why shouldn't I? I don't understand. Always see what you're asking. If the Maker has not truly abandoned us, why would Andraste need to intercede with the Maker on our behalf? I have never thought of this. I revere her because she's the Maker's divine bride. I do not have any other explanation. Why? If the Maker has not abandoned us, does that make it necessarily true that Andraste was nothing? I know it sounds irrational, but faith is irrational. If we knew the truth, it would be fact and irrefutable. But we do not, so all we can do is believe. You are right. Our demon is running out of time as we speak. I have heard much about the halls of the Dwarven kings, but the stories do it no justice. It is so strange, harsh, yet beautiful. And have you seen those tiny pig-like burrowing animals? They are adorable. I wish I could have one as a pet, but that is part of its beauty. It is so different. I love it. The dwarves have lived here for thousands of years. I'm sure it is perfectly safe. Oh, it's one of those subterranean bunny pigs. Oh, look at him. Come here, you. He's probably just hungry. Oh, he's snuffling me. Snuffle, snuffle. Thank you so much. You've made my day. Just needs a bath. Don't listen to the mean lady. You're not dirty. He just needs a bath. Don't listen to the mean man. You're not dirty. Ah, Denerim. If we have time, I would like to look for Marjolaine. We have a score to settle. Oh, hello. Is there something you wanted to talk about? It's nothing. I'm fine. I'm just thinking. I can't get what happened out of my head. I'd been in Lothering for years, and she still thought I was plotting against her. She didn't trust me. Maybe she never did. She loved me when she could use me and control me, and now that she can't, she wants me dead. It hurts to realize that I never really knew her. I knew she was ruthless, but I didn't know how far she could go. She is self-serving, cruel. She uses people, then discards them, but that's how she survives in the life she leads. What if she's right? What if we're the same? I should just have stayed in the chantry. You are already helping so much by listening to me. I forgot my life as a bard while I was in the cloister. I felt safe. I didn't have to watch my back all the time. I could have been wrong about the Maker. I know you doubt me sometimes. Maybe you're right. That's what made Marjolaine the person she is, don't you see? It ruined her. It will ruin me too. Even now, I feel some regret at not ending her life in order to protect my own. You don't understand. It's already happened. When we killed her, I enjoyed it. Seeing her dead gave me satisfaction. Maybe, but that is not the point. I was a different person there. What we're doing, what we've done, hunted men down, killed them. Part of me loves it. It invigorates me, and this scares me. I feel myself slipping, isn't there? It's the first step down this dark path. First thought, then action. How can you be so sure? Do you really think so? Hearing you say that gives me comfort. I would like to be alone for now. I have many things to consider. Thank you for listening to me. That is true. I can always trust you to show me things from a different perspective. I know. And I've thought about pursuing her, and I take great delight in this thought. I admit that I took great pleasure in the intrigue back in Orlais. It was dangerous and chaotic and exciting, but it destroyed my life. I thought the chantry showed me another path. I thought I was done with this life. Am I wrong? Here, with you, knowing the freedom of the road and the uncertainty of tomorrow, I feel alive again. There is this thought that floats into my mind constantly, that I lie when I say the chantry gave me peace, when in truth it bored me. Yes, you're right. I'm being too self-indulgent. Just give me some time alone, for now. But that is no reason to rejoice over her death. That is what she would do. I don't want that. Do you remember our discussion? I just wanted to tell you that I thought about what you told me, and you were right. I didn't want to admit it, even to myself, but those years in Lothering, I yearned for the freedom and the recklessness that I knew in Orlais. The Maker made the world beautiful, but he also made it dangerous. To really experience it, I have to embrace this, not hide away in some nunnery. About Marjolaine and me, and my doubts about my path. Of course not. It was perhaps a clumsy way of starting a conversation. Sometimes it takes another to show us the truths we hide from ourselves. Maybe you'll just have to wait and see, won't you? My eternal gratitude and friendship? I've already pledged myself to your cause, so I can't give that again. I have a half-eaten heel of bread and some cheese from breakfast. You want those? No? I'm glad I left Lothering in your company. You have proven a true friend, and I thank the Maker for you. Am I embarrassing you? Well, fine then. I don't really like you, and you're a terrible friend. Terrible. I'm not glad I'm here, at all. Despite what Marjolaine says, I am not like her. I know that now. I've found peace in knowing the Maker, and nothing will change that. I've followed you to make the world a better place, and as long as I keep that in mind, I will not fall. Yes, a little better. Time heals all wounds, so they say. Scars remain, but they are just colors in the painting that is my life, no? I wish things had happened differently, but knowing her and knowing me, I didn't think it could have. I was just trying to say that our experiences shape our personalities. Mine made me who I am, and I'm sure it was the same for Marjolaine. We had good times, though, and I look back on those fondly. Whatever happened after will never change the truth of the past. Yes, once, a long time ago, she was a worldly woman and there was so much she knew and was willing to share with me. I would have done anything for her once. She used to be different. Happier, I think. She loved music and had a weakness for sugary cakes. Maybe she was always lying about who she was. Or maybe she changed over the years. That's what they say. And the rest of us just have to move on. So far, things are not so bad. Look, now I have new friends, new loves. In spite of it all, life is good. It's not so bad. Look, now I have new friends, a new family. In spite of it all, life is good. No, not yet. I have not met someone that affected me the way she did. Are we fishing for compliments? Yes, I would do anything for you. You've been there for me when no one else has. You are a friend and so much more. In spite of what has happened and knowing what might happen soon, I'm happy and life is good, and I think I have. You are how she used to be years ago, a joy to be around, a constant companion and a listening ear in times of need. Yes, I know that. I don't think you would ever do what she did to me. My dearest one, I think that day has already come and gone. I'm fine. And we're friends, aren't we? We can talk about these things if you want. And I love you. It's so wonderful to say that to someone again. I have not given this a lot of thought. What will I do? A brief stop at the cloister in Lothering is in order. I left quite abruptly, and I should tie up loose ends if I can. I gave the woman numerous headaches. She's probably glad I left and took my strange ideas with me. No, I shouldn't say that. She was always kind to me, even if she didn't understand me. Yes, I should return, at least to say goodbye. I'll not stay in Lothering for long. My time in the cloister was a time of healing, but I am ready to face the world again. There's so much out there, adventures to be had and stories to be told. I want to be part of it all. I might need some company. And you're not too irritating. You're welcome to come along if you like. It is settled then. You and I wandering the world, seeking our fortunes. I can't wait. Good idea. Before one plans for the future, one should be sure one has one. Yes? The world is as interesting as you want it to be. If you see your life as dreary and hopeless, there's nothing I can do. Ugliness can be found anywhere if you look hard enough. The same can be said of beauty. I would hate to be apart from you. You are the first thing I see in the morning, the last I see at night. I don't want that to change. We've traveled far and wide. Does it need to end? Ooh, how dramatic. I'm going to hold you to your word. I mean it. Don't say that. I'm not ready to give up on this life, and I don't want to go through it alone without you. It'll be all right. We will prevail in the end. I know it. Of course. So important you are. Whatever life has in store for you, my Grey Warden, I will be at your side. I don't know. I think returning to Orlais would be the first order of business. Marjolaine may be dead, but who knows what other events she set in motion in the years I was away. I deserve a fresh start, and I cannot have that if I am pursued by people from my past. They must be dealt with. I was hoping a firm warning would suffice, but you never know. I may have to seek a more permanent solution, and after that, who knows? The wide world awaits. Oh, I could. But what about Marjolaine's associates? They will not move on. And there will be consequences. I will not sit around waiting for them to come for me. Marjolaine is not done with me. I know her. I'm not going to wait for her to spring another attack on me. The stars are out. It comforts me to know that the stars will remain untouched by the blight. That whatever happens down here, they will shine eternally. Their light undimmed. There is a story about that cluster of stars over there. Do you know it? Elindra and her soldier? A long time ago, there lived a fair maiden called Elindra. She had many suitors, but spurned them all, for she did not love them. One day, Elindra was sitting by her window in her father's castle, singing and dreaming, when her lovely voice caught the attention of a young soldier. Entranced by her song, the soldier drew near to Elindra's window. As their eyes met, he fell in love with her, and she with him. When Elindra told her father about the man she had chosen, he was furious, for Elindra was high-born, but her love nothing more than a common soldier. To keep them apart, he had Elindra imprisoned in the highest tower of his castle, and sent her soldier to the wars. Alas, not a month had passed before news of the soldier's death reached Elindra. Alone in her tower, Elindra wept for her love and beseeched the gods to deliver her from this cruel world. So earnest was her plea that the gods themselves were moved. They gathered Elindra into their arms and lifted her high into the heavens, where she became a star. The gods also raised up the soul of Elindra's soldier love, and there he dwells, across the horizon from her. The band of stars between them is a river of Elindra's tears, cried for her lost love. They say that when Elindra has cried enough, she will be able to cross the river to be reunited with her soldier. Well, I will tell you this one. This story is one of my favorites. A tale of a love so great and so enduring that it defies death and moves the gods to action. Sometimes I ask myself, does such a love exist? Can it exist? It is just a story, but sometimes it's refreshing to set aside what makes sense. It doesn't end so badly. It ends hopefully. Elindra will one day be with her love again. We don't know when, but she will. I never expected you to say that. It is a pleasant surprise. I have to say there is a certain severity to you. Finding a person behind that all is nice. Maybe you should let your softer side show more often. Sometimes following your heart, not your head, leads you to remarkable places. Of course not. It will be our secret. I think I would be lucky to experience an emotion even half as pure and true as Elindra's love. The world gets lonely too quickly if there is no one to share it with. Yes, it is, isn't it? You are my friend, and I love you, but I'm not quite ready to cry a river of tears. Is that all you think love is? And what about love of family, of a child? Is that just attachment? Do you not believe in a pure, true love? If not circumstance, then death will always separate the lovers, no? But maybe this is what gives it value. If it is easily gained, if it lasts forever, what reason do we have to cherish it? It would be worthless. You must put duty before self, I see. It must be terrible for you knowing this. I pray that one day you will find someone who will restore your faith in love. Make supper? Right. Yes. Of course I will help him. So, you found something other than Darkspawn to occupy your time, haven't you? You and Morrigan are... I saw her going into your tent last night. I didn't think she was there to tell you a bedtime story. Misunderstanding? What is there to misunderstand? She was... You're giving her... I mean, you're wading through her swamp. You are so brazen, both of you. Really? That's all? I could have sworn I heard... Maybe. I suppose I could have made a mistake. Well, this is certainly embarrassing. I jumped to conclusions. I should not have. I will salvage what I can of my dignity and go over there now. You know what I mean. You were intimate. I am not some innocent 12-year-old you can fool with half-baked lies. I know the strut of a woman who intends to seduce a man. The slow, sinuous movement. The arched back. Her everything. She got what she wanted, didn't she? Your relationship might affect our entire group, don't you think? If suddenly she is more important to you than the rest of us, you could take unnecessary risks for her, putting us all in danger. That's excellent. Great. Absolutely wonderful. Don't evade the question. I saw her, so you're just playing with her then. How gentlemanly of you. You're bringing up what I might have done to justify... Fine, do whatever you want. However, for the benefit of the rest of us and our ultimate goal, do try to be discreet. Some of us aren't interested hearing or seeing what the witch enjoys. Leave me alone. I wish I had never brought this up. Oh, harmless flirting. You think it doesn't hurt anyone, don't you? Oh, I see. I am just neurotic. We'll see how much your word counts for then. Only time will tell. Jealous? You think I'm jealous? Don't flatter yourself. I am more concerned about the ramifications of your dalliance. What? You mean about you and Morrigan? I suppose I should apologize. You were right. I have done as you have. I may not be proud of this, but I cannot judge you. I've toyed with men in the past. There is a particular kind of amusement that only another person can provide, and I certainly indulged myself back then. You are well within your bounds to call me that. I was just so angry because you had made a true statement I could not refute. Everything I said made me sound like a complete hypocrite. Absolutely. That's definitely something I should learn to do. Sometimes I get carried away. I was just about to suggest that. It is forgotten. I suppose your relationship hasn't really affected the rest of us, and what you do with yourself in your private moments is up to you. Maybe I was jealous. Just a little. But I'm past that now. She is a very beautiful woman, and I can see why you're attracted to her. Let's just move past this, shall we? I'm sorry I ever let my pettiness jeopardize our mission. I enjoy the nights at camp. The night always seems more peaceful to me. Safer. I feel the night grants us a reprieve from the troubles of the day. Silly, isn't it? The darkspawn never sleep, and they lurk in the shadows. I enjoy those nights when we stand guard together, talking to pass the time in those small hours. Well, I talk and you listen mostly. Sometimes I succumb and fall asleep and wake to find you still watchful. And I know you're watching out for me. What I'm trying to say is that I trust you. I'm comfortable around you. I know you'll be there when I need you. You are our leader and my friend, and sometimes I think that maybe we could be more than that. Maker, look at me stumbling over my words like an ill-educated peasant girl. Some bard I am. I'm not embarrassed. I'm just flushed because of the heat. Really? No one told me. You felt the same way and didn't do me the courtesy of informing me? There isn't much more I can say. My feelings have been laid bare. You are very special to me. I guess I'll just go then. Friends? Right, friends. I see. Well, I mean, I can't imagine why we wouldn't stay friends. You made me say all those things. Why couldn't you have said them first? Oh, how very awkward. Oh, chivalry is so dead, making the lady spill her guts like that. Yes, I am fond of you and I care about you. And let's go about our business before the others suspect something. Well, yes, but don't question me. I am a woman and I reserve the right to be inconsistent. Yes, I understand. Completely. It's you and not me. I should go. What? Are you saying I have bad taste? Why can't I like you? You're a good person, a great listener, a remarkable warrior. You often show signs of intelligence, and you're fairly good looking. Most of your facial features are in the right place. You're welcome. I try. He is quite a character, your Zevran, no? He seems to seek pleasure above all things. But there is more to him, isn't there? He is more complex than he lets on. Yes? I mean, no. Well, not in that way, anyway. I feel that it is in my interest to study those I travel with. And Zevran deserves special scrutiny, seeing that he tried to kill you. But it seems you trust him, judging from your closeness. If you do, then I do too. You haven't led us astray yet. That aside, you do have good taste. He's an attractive one. Thanks for the offer, but I don't think my delicate health could take so much excitement. I can tell. He owes you his life. That debt alone makes him beholden to you. And that's saying nothing of your, entanglements. So, had important things to discuss with Morrigan last night? Again? Seems you had important discussions every night of the week. I'm surprised you haven't run out of conversation topics yet. You lied to me. Such a fool I was. I don't care what you did with her. What hurts is that you lied. I trusted you. What are you playing at? You tell me you like me, that I mean something to you, and you have her on the side? It's not fair to either Morrigan or me. Do you say the same things to her that you say to me? Oh, I bet she is. Couldn't be a winning personality you keep coming back to. Tell me, does she use dark forbidden magics to enhance your enjoyment of her? Oh, I'm sure. Alistair's a Grey Warden too. Does she share her knowledge of Darkspawn with him as well? Just show me some respect. Show us some respect, please. I suppose you need different girls for different days of the week. Stop playing with my feelings. If you want her, tell me so. I care for you. more deeply than I can say, but I can't watch you going to her all the time. I am sorry I had to force this on you. I couldn't stand by any longer wondering if I meant anything to you. And I believe you when you say that. I see. That's your choice then. I understand. Excuse me. I have to be alone for a while. Wonderful people have their limits too. Morrigan when you want some rough tumbling, Leliana when you need a bedtime story and someone to tell you what a nice boy you are. We should talk later. There wasn't too much harm done. I think I will survive. So do I. I would hate to be the cause of anyone's pain. I see you're still with Morrigan. I thought you said she didn't mean anything to you. It has been some time since I left Lothering. When I stepped out of the cloister, I had no idea where my path would lead. I walked where the Maker led me, and he has rewarded me for my faith. I found you. But now it's getting late. I think I might turn in early. I can't help thinking about how soft and warm my bedroll is. I didn't know you had a journal, or wrote in it regularly. Well, maybe you could bring it to my tent and I could watch you write. I could give suggestions. Dear Journal, Leliana has shown much affection for me. Even asked me to come to bed with her. But alas, subtlety is lost on me. Oh, now he gets it. Oh, now she gets it. Where's the fun in that? You're turning me down? Is there something wrong? Oh, don't second guess me. It's not becoming, you know? It would be nice if you came with me. Of course I do. You know I enjoy your company. But it's getting a little chilly, and I'd prefer to be in my bedroll. You're welcome to join me, of course. The Maker says we must share our blessings, so I can show you my collection of pressed flowers. Obviously, I don't. Stop pretending you don't know what I want. Ah, the games you play. Listen, I want to spend the night with you. There, I said it. I think I understand. Perhaps we should spend more time together first. I love you, and I will wait for you as long as you want. You're putting your life on hold because of Darkspawn? I suppose you are a Grey Warden, and that is what is required of you. I love you, and I understand. I will not make demands on you. Duty must come first, but now I have a greater incentive to kill those hideous monsters. Hello, I'm just greeting the person I'm sharing a bed with. Nothing wrong with that. I'm so happy, blissful. I haven't slept so well since I was forced to flee from Orlais. Knowing you will be the first thing I see when I wake gives me no small amount of comfort. I feel safe in your arms. Safe, loved and accepted. This is where I belong. Thank you. I suppose I should get up. We have a long day ahead of us. Come on. Darkspawn await with bated breath for you to put them out of their misery. I think it will be a beautiful day. What are you... Oh, I see. I suppose the Darkspawn will just have to wait a bit longer. Well, that settles it then. You want to... Are you sure? I knew you'd come around. Good things come to those who wait, no? Oh, now you've got me curious. Ah, pulling rank. You do know how to woo a lady. I'm sure the wait will be worthwhile. I thought you'd never ask. Wait, you want to talk about us? Is there something bothering you? Not going to work? You're talking about us? What's wrong? Don't give me that. Don't you dare! I want an explanation right now. Life is never certain. Nothing is certain but the love you have for others and the love they have for you. Love is that constant star on the horizon that leads you to safe harbor. Love, friendship. These are the things you hold on to. What? All right, if that's the way you want it, fine. Now, excuse me, I don't think I should be where I'm not wanted. If you don't know, or don't want to tell me your reasons, then I won't press you. Nothing lasts forever. But I did not expect this to be over so soon. I will always love you. As a friend. And so you are abandoning our love? Where's the logic here? Death will come for us all. Eventually. But does this mean we should never try to love? Really? You think so? You're so sweet. I see. And I understand. I see. So, this is it for now. Every moment I have with you is a gift from the Maker. I do not want to lose this. Don't apologize. It is something you felt you needed to do. I cannot question that. And life goes on, yes? I will be all right. If you were really sorry, you would have thought about what you said before saying it. This sorry, it means nothing. For the sake of our task, I will put my feelings on this matter aside. I don't want our messy personal matters affecting our ultimate goal. But after this, I never want to see you again. No. No, you never think, do you? Oh, so I'm the one being difficult now. You show no consideration for my feelings, and now you... And there were no beautiful, charming women in the cloisters, you think? You would be wrong. There were many lovely young initiates in the Lothering cloister, all of them chaste and virtuous. It added to their mystique, because then they were forbidden, and forbidden fruit is the sweeter, no? Flatterer. I, however, did not take vows, and so perhaps I am not as enigmatic. My fruit? My fruit? Well, it is not technically forbidden, but it's not freely given either. Not everyone gets a bite. I can't believe I'm having this conversation. But no, I did not take vows. I did not take those vows that the initiates took. Vows of poverty, chastity, among others. You would abandon your Grey Warden duties to seduce an initiate into forgetting chantry and maker. It's all right. I've put it behind me. Flowers? For me? They're beautiful. Oh, good. You seemed a little serious just then. Anyway, I was never an initiate, only affirmed. There are certainly many to choose from. I was never one of them, though. I was only affirmed. Oh, I feel so special. Thank you for picking me last. Just a small one. There. And thank you for the flowers. Oh, I see what you're getting at. Honestly? Yes. Why shouldn't I? Violence is not the only solution. They never complained. Well, they did, but usually after they found out what I had done. Never during. Thank you. It's kind of you to say so, even wearing these mud-covered horrors. Well, yes, certainly, but to be with someone you truly love, to the exclusion of all others, there is nothing in the world like it. She's a lucky girl, Morrigan. She caught your eye. Though looking at her, it is not difficult to see why. Jealous? Me? No. Why would I be jealous? I'm happy for you. Well, I want you to know I am happy for you. That is not what I meant. So, you and Alistair, together, looking contented, you even have a glow about you. So shameless. Of course you aren't. Leliana's just seeing things again, isn't she? So, how is Alistair? You know what I mean. Alistair and you, those long nights. He must be quite delightful. You wouldn't be so happy otherwise, I think. He's athletic. That's always nice. He is also good at following instructions, isn't he? Yes, I can see that. Sometimes he reminds me of a very eager puppy. Most men do, actually. Fine. I was just making conversation. That Grey Warden ritual that involves the Darkspawn blood. No, that's not it. You definitely have the glow of someone in love. That's a good thing. Men like puppies can be trained, especially when it comes to dealing with their women.
What are you giggling about? What is she giggling about?
Ooh, fascinating. The little Templar is all grown up and apparently he plays well with others. You must keep me updated on any new developments.
I don't really believe you, but I don't want to find out either. My performance? What performance? And why does it warrant giggling?
We're just talking about how you treat her in bed. Nothing you should concern yourself with.
Oh, Maker, what is wrong with you women? Right, yes, you're giggling about Darkspawn. So funny, them Darkspawns.
Oh, hello again. So will you let me help you? Will you let me come? I'll be honest. When I heard about the Darkspawn, I felt something urging me to leave my sheltered life in the cloister and do something. Anything. And then the vision. It cannot be coincidence that you are brought here so soon after I was called by the Maker. I helped you in the inn, remember? He wants me to go with you. I just know it.
Her plea seems wholehearted. And even though she seems a little strange, she does have skill. I vote to let her come along.
Thank you. I won't let you down, I promise. I shall venture forth on my own then. May the Maker smile on your path. You don't know how it makes me feel to hear you say that. I should have done it in Denerim. I don't know what I was thinking. She's cunning, duplicitous. I do not believe she will leave me alone. She was right. It will never be over for us until one of us is dead. It won't be me. Well, you know, radiating joy and love while everyone has to face death and the blight and a bleak future. Terrible gloating like that. Which one? It will come to you soon, I'm sure. Yes, that is what I'm saying. Do they let you watch? That's an interesting idea. I'll have to think about that. Yes, Have I ever told you I really like the way you wear your hair? It's very nice and it suits you. Simple. Not like the elaborate hairstyles we wore in Orlais. They involved flowers, ribbons, jewels. One year, feathers were all the rage, and Lady Elise decided she needed to outdo everyone else, and actually wore live songbirds in her voluminous hair. The chirping was quite charming for a while, but you must realize, terrified little birdies often have loose bowels. Yes, you can imagine what she looked like by the end of the evening. But I was trying to say something nice to you, wasn't I? Oh, forgive me. My mind wanders so. It's just that I feel so comfortable talking to you, like I could say anything and you wouldn't judge me. Yes, very much so. I'm not sure. Yes, I don't envy them. She never washed her hair. I haven't felt this close to anyone in a long time. I really enjoy your company. You see? This is what I mean. You're such a pleasure to talk to. You see? You play along with me. Not many will do that. I had no idea you felt that way. I have never regretted leaving Orlais. I do not regret any of the pain, the anger, the loneliness, because it brought me to you. But people are starting to look at me strangely. We will speak of this again, I promise. I think so. I suppose even friends can get on each other's nerves sometimes. Let us just be on our way. And what would you do if I said I do? Very much so, in fact. Thank you. I am honored that you feel that way. Wrong idea. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I enjoy spending time with my friends. Is there something wrong? Huh? You must do that then. Perhaps later when I'm not prepared for it. Surprise me. Ah, yes, it's very nice. But you must watch out the next time you're in a marsh. The humidity, it does nothing for it. And we can't have you saving the world with bad hair now, can we? There's no one else I'd rather spend time with. Come then, let's get going. If I recall correctly, you have some important earth-shattering business to attend to. I happened to be speaking with Zevran yesterday. He tells me you two have been intimate. I don't know what to think. I didn't know you were fond of other men. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I had no idea. Oh, I see. So you've made your decision, I suppose. Well, I wish you well, then. He is quite a catch, I suppose. And you tell him, if he ever hurts you, he'll have to face me. Men can be bastards sometimes, you know. You don't have to deny it. I always thought there was something missing between us. Now I know what it is. Of course not. We will always be friends. That would be hard to do since Zevran has been boasting about it to anyone who will listen. I didn't realize you were at all attracted to him. I thought You love Alistair. I suppose I can't fault you for being desirous of new experiences. And what is it they say? Oh, yes. You should try everything once. Except for incest and Kunari cuisine. Really? Zevran didn't seem to think you regretted it that much, but he's not known for his honesty, is he? Anyway, I suppose this is your decision? I know. I will always be here for you if you need me. Anyway, I'm glad we sorted this all out. I knew there was more to it than what Zev told me. Well, you know how he is. It is my business because we work together. We need to rely on each other and perhaps honesty is necessary here. Oh. Well, I suppose I can see why. Never mind. I don't know. I'm not sure what I want you to say. Misunderstanding. Well, what can I say here that will not embarrass me? I think I made a mistake about you. It's not your fault. I'm sorry. You know me too well. I just thought we had something here. A diversion? That's all. A lie. Why would Zevran... If there's anything I know about Zevran, is that he never lies about his sexual conquests. It was no lie. Yeah, True enough. Often I do not know what to make of him. So, what is this all about then? A lie? Why would Zevran make something like this up? Oh, I see. I have to admit he does have something about him. But there are always people who will catch your eye. The important thing is whether they capture your heart. Oh, Maker, I don't know what I'm saying. Fun? I know Zevran seeks pleasure and not a bond of friendship or anything else. But you, is this how you treat people? As playthings? I'm sorry if I made you feel uncomfortable. Let us put this behind us, shall we? This is a joke I find none too funny. Perhaps I should remove myself from your presence so you can amuse yourself in peace. Shall we forget I ever brought this up? I think this would be best. Then why did you... Fun? Yes. Maybe that is for the best. What I've done has nothing to do with this. Why do I always get myself into these conversations? Curious. Do you bet every person you're curious about? Never mind, do what you like. I should never have brought this up. About you and Zevran? No, not really. I thought about it, and I think I overreacted. After all, we were not... it wasn't my place to criticize what you did in private. I'm sorry if what I said drove a rift between us. I didn't mean for it to do so. Friends? And now you must tell me everything. What's he like? You lied to me about Zevran. I've seen you together. He tried to kill you, and apparently he's still more honest than you are. I don't know if I can trust you, if I can trust the things you've said to me. What am I to you? And Zevran? What's he to you? You're very special to me. But if you don't feel the same, please tell me now. Oh, I see how it is. Maker, I was such a fool. Is that so wrong? I just want to know where I stand. I need to know what's going on between you and Zevran. You said what happened between you two was nothing, but it's gone further, hasn't it? I've seen the knowing glances he shoots at you. What's all that about? Alistair is quite fond of you, isn't he? Oh, don't pretend you don't know what I'm talking about. It's obvious. He's not very good at being subtle. I like Alistair. I don't know if there's anyone who doesn't, but I was wondering if there was something more between you two. Oh, don't start. You know perfectly well what I mean. You're flirting with him. Oh, I see. Well, he's a very nice boy, no? If you hadn't made your move, perhaps I would have. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm happy for the both of you, and especially for him. He couldn't have found a better companion. I've seen you flirting with him. You may think it's harmless and means nothing, but I see that he's quite taken with you. Alistair is a wonderful person, and you shouldn't give him false hopes if you do not mean to go further. He deserves better. Me? Upset? No, not at all. I just think you should be careful about what signals you send to others. I'm sorry if you think I nag. I just care a lot about you, and Alistair, of course. I don't want to see anyone hurt. I'm just concerned for my friends. But if you think I'm in your way, then forget it. I will never stick my nose in your business again. Why is it you always feign ignorance? I've seen you together. I'd have to be blind, deaf, and buried 10 leagues underground not to notice. But you've said such things to me. Were they lies? Have you been playing with my feelings? If you really care, don't do this to us. I know Alistair wouldn't want it any more than I do. So you have been then. Then you and Alistair... What about Alistair then? What are you doing to him? He adores you. I need to do this. I need to know where we stand. This cannot continue. It is not fair to either of us, so I will make this decision for you. You and I... It probably wasn't the best thing for either of us anyway. It was good while it lasted, though. Alistair is a wonderful person, and he deserves someone who loves him wholeheartedly. Go tell him so. I understand. I love you both, and I'm happy for you. And I will always be here if you need me, my friend. No, don't be silly. This is a good thing. No, survival was my only concern at the time. Then let us move on. I suppose you could look at it that way, but she still deserves our respect. But there is little time to debate this. Let us move on. Yes, of course, but it still is something to be in awe of. Why am I being such a baby about this? I must be a sight spilling my guts. Well, yes, but that's not all they're for. If you saw a pretty lady in a beautiful dress, you'd want to see her dancing in her dainty shoes and not in huge boots. Ugh, men. It seems women only dress up for other women because men don't care or notice. I know what you're going to say, and I'm just going to spare you the trouble. You've chosen, haven't you? I had a feeling this would happen. I suppose I hope you are happy together. I'm not stupid. Did you think you were the first person to ever disappoint me? I know that look. This is getting a little awkward, and I think I'm going to excuse myself now.
Yes, but she seems more, ooh, pretty colours, than, I'm Princess Stabbity, stab, kill, kill.
I knew this would come up sooner or later. I don't know how to explain, but I had a dream. In it, there was an impenetrable darkness. It was so dense, so real. And there was a noise, a terrible, ungodly noise. I stood on a peak and watched as the darkness consumed everything. And when the storm swallowed the last of the sun's light, I fell, and the darkness drew me in. I have had dreams. This was different somehow. When I woke, I went to the Chantry's gardens, as I always do. But that day, the rosebush in the corner had flowered. There are so many good things in the Maker's world. How can I sit by while the blight devours everything? I suppose I did. That was what the darkness was, no? Everyone knew that bush was dead. It was grey and twisted and gnarled, the ugliest thing you ever saw. But there it was, a single beautiful rose. It was as though the Maker stretched out his hand to say, even in the midst of this darkness, there is hope and beauty. Have faith. In my dream I fell, or maybe I jumped. I'd do anything to stop the blight. I know that we can do it. It's not your life but mine that he guides. I suppose you will never understand. No one does. It's all right. I don't know. He made this world. He could destroy it. But there is so much worth saving. That is why you're a Grey Warden. Come, there's a blight to stop. You're such a pessimist. We affirm our belief in the Maker, in Andraste and the chant, but other than that, there are no vows taken. Not I. I am only affirmed. I thought I knew her. My devotion to her blinded me to her less than noble attributes. She was a remarkable woman. I could not fully express the admiration I had for her, or the depth of my affection. Nobles mostly. Spy on you? What would you have that a spoilt and bored Orlesian nobleman could want? Some do. Mostly it is nobles spying on other nobles. The Empress must have her own bards at her disposal, I suppose, but many are more self-serving. What do you think? They infiltrate, steal, sometimes assassinate? It depends on the bard. Maybe I just tell myself he's there to console myself, to know there's someone watching out for me, to know I'm not alone. But I was. I was alone and desperate when I fled to Ferelden. I went to the only place I knew would take me. Maybe I never found faith. I just pretended to because I knew the Chantry would hide me. There's an idea. I've watched you, and I do think you'd find some of my skills quite easy to pick up. Let's just go over there, away from the others, for safety, yes? I expect there shall be daggers flying about willy-nilly for a time. I don't think you have the correct aptitude. I could give you some pointers, though. You may be able to pass them on to someone you know. Go? What do you mean, go? You want me to leave? No, I'm not leaving. Will I ever see you again? Goodbye, then, and make her be with you. Oh, I see. Very well. I will find my own path. You don't have to tell me twice. No! Leave me alone! I must say that traveling with you has opened my eyes to how wrong some are about the Dalish. You are not at all savage. And I've not seen you snatch away women and children without provocation. Did you always live in an alienage? Was it very terrible? Funny? No. People actually do believe such things of you. If my people were more open to interacting with yours, we could do away with such misperceptions. No, of course not. I am just saying that many believe such awful things about the Dalish. Is that a joke or a threat? This attitude isn't going to make humans more sympathetic of the Dalish. I know humans and elves do not share a happy history, but peace must be possible. I hear many city folk talk about how wonderful it must be to live simpler lives, close to the earth. They could learn from the Dalish. I'm sorry. I did not mean it like that. I wasn't trying to belittle your culture. I have met very few elves, and those that I have met were pledged to the service of Orlesian nobles. They are serfs. There is no slavery in Orlais. Elven servants are well compensated for their services. Some of them live richer lives than humans. A well-trained elven servant is highly valued in Orlais. They are nimble and dexterous, and many people find them pleasing to look at. Oh, my words were clumsily chosen. I did not mean to offend. I am sorry. No, I did not mean it that way. I am sorry. I have offended and I did not mean to do so. Of course, I am sorry if I implied otherwise. Thank you. You have given me a lot to think about. I did not realize that. It is so strange how long-held beliefs just seem natural and right. Like there is no other way to feel. How marvelous that must be. I have never been to the Denerim alienage, but I hear that life is hard and there is so much squalor. That is good to hear. In Orlais, most elven servants live in the homes of their masters, often in great wealth and luxury. I've known elven servants with servants of their own. Yes, but some humans are treated cruelly too. It is not just elves. I can't help what I believe. Something like that. The Maker wants his children to be happy. Would he have created in us the capacity for love if he did not intend for us to find it? Yes, that gloriously rich and decadent emotion that one finds oneself hopelessly stuck in, much like caramel pudding. Well, you know Orlesians and their curious entertainments. It's much nicer than mud. Why, thank you, dear. Yes, talk of the Maker is hardly romantic, is it? Oh, I have tales of pudding like you would not believe. Perhaps we could retire to my tent, and I could regale you. Come here. And no arguing this time. Good. Now come with me before I lose my patience. You'll just have to wait and see, won't you? Holy Maker! She was a... My head feels heavy. Like I've just woken up from a terrible nightmare. I believe we had some task to accomplish. Let us be on our way. Wait, what's happening to me? Blessed art thou who exists in the sight of the Maker. Blessed art thou who seeks his forgiveness. Blessed... What? Who you?
I beg you, do not disturb the girl's meditations.
Revered Mother, I do not know this person.
Please do not vex her. She needs quiet and solitude to calm her mind and heal her heart.
Isn't real? I don't understand. I remember there was a sign.
Leliana, we have discussed this sign of yours. The Maker does not care to interfere in the affairs of mortals. This vision was likely the work of demons.
The Maker cares for us. I believe he misses his wayward children as much as we miss him. My vision may not be from him, but it guides me to do what is right. My revered mother knew this. I don't know who you are, but you are not her. Let us leave. My head has not yet cleared, but there is something familiar about you, and I believe I trust you.
This is your home, your refuge. Do you truly wish to leave the comfort of this place behind? Stay and know peace.
There is no need. I carry the peace of the Chantry in my heart.
You are going nowhere, girl. I will not permit it. No, she is ours, now and forever.
There's something familiar about you, and I find myself trusting you, as odd as that may sound. I cannot trust you. I do not know you. Please, let me be.
This is a place of peace and contemplation, and your behavior is inappropriate. Leave now, or I shall be forced to take steps. I will deal with you, and then our hold over the girl will be absolute.
I do not know what you're talking about, and I find your harassment quite uncalled for.
We have given her succor when she was lost. We showed her the way, and now she is one of us.
I am happy here. This is all I ever wanted. Why are you saying these things about the revered mother? Please go away. I'm sorry, but I don't know what you're talking about. I apologize for interfering, but I couldn't just sit by and not help. Save my life. I assure you I can handle myself. So now you know all about me. We just met. Well, that can be quickly remedied. Let me introduce myself. I am Leliana, one of the lay sisters of the chantry here in Lothering. Oh, I was. I joined the chantry to live a life of religious contemplation. But I am no priest, not even an initiate. They said you were a Grey Warden. I'm surprised you're an elf. But elves must want the blight defeated as much as humans, no? Those men said you're a Grey Warden. You will be battling the Darkspawn, yes? That is what Grey Wardens do. I know after what happened you will need all the help you can get. That's why I'm coming along. Oh, I thought you might say that. But you see, the Maker wants me to join you. I know that sounds absolutely insane. But it's true. I had a dream. A vision.
More crazy? I thought we were all full up.
Look at the people here. They are lost in their despair, and this darkness, this chaos, will spread. The Maker doesn't want this. What you do, what you are meant to do, is the Maker's work. Let me help. I can fight. I can do more than fight. As I said, I was not always a lay sister. I put aside that life when I came here. But now, if it is the Maker's will, I will take it up again. Gladly. Please let me help you. Then what? What happens when the Horde comes? It will follow anywhere we flee until all we know is destroyed. But I will go, for now. It's not important that you believe what I say, only that you serve the Maker in the end. Think about it, please. That is all I ask.
Perhaps your skull was cracked worse than Mother thought.
Thank you. I appreciate being given this chance. I will not let you down. He is not just my God. The Maker has love for all. I know you may not believe, but I had a dream. A vision. Then you believe me? I knew the Maker had sent a true dream. A vision that by serving you, I serve his holy plan. The Maker told me to. That, and the Maker wants me to go with you. But... oh, I see. Of course. Shall we move on, my completely ordinary and unremarkable friend? The Maker told me to join you. Surely, he would not do so without good reason. I wasn't born in the chantry, you know. Many of us had more colorful lives before we joined, and I know that you did what you had to. I do wish they had backed down, however. I am glad you found it in your heart to offer those men mercy. Are we getting a move on? Good plan. Where will we be heading then? Oh, am I getting ahead of myself? So sorry. So here we are. The conquering heroine has won the day, and now she takes her bow and exits the stage. A fine ending. Aren't you getting married soon to a king? There's a rumor. Yes. Yes, she most certainly does. I don't know. I haven't read that part yet, have I? You'll have to tell me. Oh, is that how it is? Yes. Maybe so. So here we are. The conquering hero has won the day, and now he takes his bow and exits the stage. A fine ending, isn't it? We had danger, we had victory, and many characters. Truly, I could not have borne witness to a better play had it been on a stage. Aren't you getting married soon to a queen? There's a rumor. I suppose not. Once I might have felt differently, but life is too short. Yes. I'm afraid it does. I'm sorry. We can see what happens, but I expect it will become complicated. It's all right. It was nice while it lasted. Is that so? Well, all right then. I'm sorry. I just can't do that. Yes. Yes, he most certainly does. I'm glad to hear that, doesn't it? It certainly feels like everyone is heading off on their own paths. Good. I'm glad to hear that, but I may be, I'm afraid. And my part was small. I'm happy to watch you receive the accolades. It's quite fun. You know, I can't help now but think of my vision. Whether it was the Maker sending me to you or whatever, it was a good thing. I thought I was supposed to save you, to show you the way. But it seems it was meant to be the other way around. Odd how that works, no? You know, I can't help now but think of my vision. The Maker sent me to help you, and look what you did. It's a miracle. It truly is. But everyone is here to see the hero of Ferelden, and that's you, of course. Fare you well, Warden. I am sure your path will be filled with many adventures yet. I know. It's just very dramatic. I'll have to remember to write it down. Flatterer. You're kind to say so, but I think we know who was in charge. So, if I heard right, you'll be staying here in Denerim. As it so happens, my plan is to do exactly the same thing. I'm pretty sure that whatever you get up to, it will involve plenty of excitement by anyone's standards. At any rate, I should let you get back to your celebration before someone drags you away. I look forward to seeing you again afterwards. I'm thinking that spending some time in one place might be a nice change of pace. Perhaps not. But there's nowhere I'd rather be than with you. Glad we worked that out then. So, if I heard right, you'll be leaving soon. Any room for an extra body on your travels? Good. I imagine that whatever you get up to will be anything but boring. Good. Because there's nowhere I'd rather be than at your side. Ah. Well, if that's how it has to be, then so be it. I will head back to Orlais for a time then. There is some old business to be taken care of. Perhaps I will see you one day when I get back, if I do. Until then, be safe. Perhaps I will see you one day on your travels. Until then, go with my blessing and be safe. You should know. I'm thinking of going back to Orlais for a while, to find Marjolaine. I don't know how long I'll be gone. No. This is something I need to do on my own. I'll try. This is something I have to do, however, on my own. I hope to see you when I return. The thought of being apart, it's not easy. Perhaps we will see each other when I return. I look forward to it. Until then, take care of yourself. Until then, be well. May the Maker watch over you. I've been offered a position to head up an investigation into the Darkspawn. It's quite exciting, really. Well, we really don't know much about them, do we? Honora says we need to find out more. See how far they go in the deep roads, and where those brood mothers can be found. I agree. Alistair says that we need to find out more. See how far they go in the deep roads, and where those brood mothers can be found. I agree. If you'd like to come, I'd be glad for the company. Especially yours. The expedition leaves in a month. We can talk again once the celebrations are done and make preparations. I look forward to it. Oh no, you have your own things to keep you busy, I'm sure. I'm organizing a royal expedition into one of the deep roads and leave a month from now. It will be a grand adventure. I hope I will see you before I leave. To say goodbye. It will be a grand adventure of my very own. I'm looking forward to it. At any rate, you should get back to the celebration. We can speak another time. I've been asked by the Chantry to return to the Urn of Sacred Ashes. I need to make sure it's protected. Maybe pilgrims can even begin going there again. If I write a tale about all this, I'm leaving out details on the food. They don't even make good food here in the palace. And you believe everything you hear. And did you not think that this could be historical fact and no longer true? And I shouldn't I, after having spent most of my adult life as one? You've guessed as much, I'm sure. But does it really matter what I was? What's past is past. Thank you. The dream was not all. There's more, isn't it? Everyone can be seduced by the right woman. The trick is predicting who she is and becoming her. Master the game, and no one can resist you. If I might be so bold, yes, I was quite good at it. Sometimes, all I had to do was toss a glance and a smile. Men read promises into such things and will go to great lengths to see that promise fulfilled. I could... What? Oh, aren't you funny? Well, it doesn't, really. I see your point. We will slay this darkspawn using conventional means, pointy sticks and all that, and crude. Why not make someone want to do what you suggest, instead of forcing them to do it? Oh, how glib! I suppose you expect me to laugh and forget about you and Morgan. I've been up for some time, but yes, I slept very well. I've just been watching you sleep. Did you know your eyelids flutter when you dream? And you have such pretty eyelashes. Mm-hmm. They're like little butterflies. I want to catch them and keep them in a jar. Maybe. Crazy now. Liar. You thought I was crazy the first time you met me. So I hear. I was watching you sleep. I do. And I probably always will. I will just move on. The Marjolaine I knew is gone. I just have to move on. But I must have done something right. It led me to you. To love. Well, here I am. Yes? What's on your mind? Of course. Maybe we should speak after we get out of here. Just thought. I was just thinking about what happened to the elves, and I I'm reminded of a song sung to me many years ago. It was when my mother died, and this wise elven woman comforted me and told me that we shouldn't fear death or hate it. Death is just another beginning. One day, we must all shed our earthly bodies to allow our spirits to fly free. It's a beautiful sentiment, I think. One that brings peace and hope to the grieving. And that is something to take joy in, no? Then perhaps you know this song, and thus you embark upon another journey. Death is just the gateway. This is a nice change from having to sleep in the woods, isn't it? I expect to leave a month from now with a small army of Templars and priests. Of course I do. I can't think of anything more important. I can give something back to the entire world. So you're marrying Honora? I heard about you and the Queen. Do you love her? Yes, I suppose you would. She is very beautiful, isn't she? Then it is the best thing for Ferelden for me to let you go. I accept that. It changes everything. I respect her too much as a queen and as a woman to let what we have destroy us all. If you are to marry her, and be wholly hers, so am I. But you're still marrying her. Love? It is the only thing that matters. Not nearly enough, it seems. As long as it is just politics. She's a queen, and she knows how this goes. You marry one, you love another. And for me to be so close to the throne of Ferelden, I foresee interesting times ahead. Hardly. I have seen this before. For people like Honora, marriage is about power. Nothing needs to change. Not if you don't want it to. So you're marrying Alistair. I heard about you and Alistair. I don't know what to say. Alistair's not going to like that. It's going to be hard for him not to, I imagine. Oh, I'm sure we will. It means nothing. Nothing needs to be different. For people like Alistair, marriage is about power, not love. He will learn that in time. Why should it? It is just politics. Yes, he will have you by his side. And if he doesn't already, he will learn to love you. How? How could he not? It changes everything. Alistair is a good man. He deserves you. He deserves to have you fully. I won't ruin this for him. I can't. I know. And I am sorry. He's a good man and I think you will be happy together. I will always be here for you. For both of you. Let us be on our way. But there is work to be done. And I have talked enough for now. Let's move on. But they must be hard to catch and... Oh, just ignore me. I'm so silly sometimes. Let's just go. Come, let's move on. But come, it is getting late and there is much to be done. But enough about that. Let us move on. Oh, I could talk about shoes all day. But we have things to do, don't we? Flowers? For me? They smell lovely. And there's something so familiar about them. These were my mother's flowers. She would sprinkle the dry petals amongst her clothes. Oh, they smell just like her. Thank you so much. It's over. She's dead. She's dead because of me. I need some time to myself. We will talk later. She's gone. I don't know what to think. She said it wasn't over. No, she was lying. She won't come back.